Hunting in Hypixel Skyblock is generally a pretty active skill. You have to go around the world, hunt a bunch of mobs, get their shards. But there are some ways to get some passive shards, and hunt traps are the best way to do so. Today I'm going to be going over how you can maximize your earnings through hunt traps. Before we begin though, I just want to say, please make sure to like and subscribe down below as it really helps out the channel a lot, and use code RAIL on the Hypixel store for 5% off your order. It's the best way to support the channel. Without any further ado though, let's get started. The only thing I'm going to recommend that you have, other than the hunt traps themselves, is this hunting toolkit. And overall, it's not too bad, it's just 1,000,000 coins. And basically how this works is that you can store all of your hunting materials, tools, things like that you're actually using to capture mobs within the toolkit. And as you can see, all of the hunt traps that I have are visible here, and you can see the locations for them, which is really nice. You're also going to want to make some hunt traps, pretty obviously. If you do recipe trap, you can see all of the different types, and the recipes aren't that bad. It's a lot of enchanted fig and tender wood, but if you've been playing for really any amount of time, you should be able to get them all to astral. It shouldn't be that much of a hassle, even on Iron Man. I do recommend getting them all to astral as soon as possible. Just look up recipe trap, make 5 of them, because that's all you can make, but get them maxed out. It reduces the time to capture by 50%, and frankly, I think it's pretty noticeable. Here's a quick demonstration of how traps fundamentally work. You have the trap in your inventory. This one I've placed as part of my hunting toolkit, and I placed the trap. That's it. There's nothing else about it. The trap will just naturally generate for me new shards over a period of time. In my opinion, the best place right now for you to place your hunt traps is right over here in the smoldering tomb where you would normally do Blaze Slayer. The reason why is that it's just objectively better in a lot of ways. The main reason is because the Burning Soul shard is actually super useful. And as you can see, if I click on these, I can pick up my actual shards here. And I can just place down my hunt traps by just opening up my hunting toolkit and placing them down. But the reason why this is actually better is that A, you're going to be getting a legendary shard out of this, which is better overall for the fusion system, but also when you fuse the Burning Soul shard right now with anything else, you get Power Dragon, which is elite, which is something you would normally only be able to get in M7. It is a very powerful buff as well. Elite allows you to do more damage to bosses and mini-bosses. It's just a good idea to pick it up if you need it, because, well, it's incredibly powerful. So that alone makes Burning Souls just one of the best ones to get. And also, if you're not actually maxed out in terms of Burning Soul, you're going to be getting bonus attack speed, and that's good by itself. I don't imagine they're going to change this recipe. They are going to do a balancing patch, even if they make it so that you don't get Power Dragon in the future. I still recommend Burning Soul because the base buff is super good, and you can get some other things as well. For example, this Kudra buff is visible if you combine it with the Hide-On Leaves, and there's a bunch of others kind of similar that are relatively powerful that you might want to pick up. Considering that the goal of the hunt trap system is to get attributes that would otherwise be annoying to obtain, I think there's a few other places on Galatea that fit the bill. The first is the Lumi Squid Cave. Head across the lake from Nemo, then pretty much directly down into this little dripstone area, follow alongside the left, and then head into this dripstone cave. There are a bunch of Lumi Squids here. You can use their shards in order to get a lot of pressure resistance. This is definitely a good option for you, so keep that in mind. In terms of other locations, I think the Panda area isn't that bad either if you want to get the Panda shards. I think that's a little bit lower of a priority, but once again, those shards are kind of annoying to get because they take a little while. Some of you may like them, but I think that they're a little bit much in that regard. Regardless, you can put your traps in this room and you should be good to go. Another one that probably isn't that bad of a spot is the Hell Wisp area. You can find these behind the Magma Boss. The main reason that you're not seeing other things on this list like ghosts or flares or things like that is because if the mob itself is actually easy to obtain, I don't think it's actually worthwhile to use your traps on trying to get that mob's shard. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of pointless to put them on ghosts, for example, when you can get 20 or 30 ghost shards in 5 minutes, when instead you could use them on the Burning Soul area and it's a lot harder generally to get the Burning Soul Demon shards, all things considered. Basically, the way I view hunt traps is like this. If it's a shard that you're not going to be actively going for, but you probably want, you should use your traps on it. I really do think the Burning Soul ones are just flatly the best, once again, just because of the fact that they can get you the elite shards, which you can normally only get in M7, which makes them incredibly useful and versatile. In terms of the other ones, I think that those are solid options if you just don't have any interest in going for the elite shards, or if you do a lot of M7, and even then I think you can get a lot more power dragon shards than otherwise. Galatea is a pretty interesting place, a lot of the hunt traps are useful in certain areas, and I imagine that this meta will change over time, so if I find other options, I will have them pinned in the comment down below, so make sure you can check that out, so you can see, what's actually useful. Overall, while this wasn't the longest guide in the world, it doesn't really need to be because hunt traps are a relatively simple system, and they just allow you to get some free shards, so hopefully these locations help you if you're trying to go for certain things. Otherwise, feel free to let me know other locations and things that you've been using hunt traps on. Would love to hear what you think. And look to the future, fellas. I'll see you then.